Hi guys, MrRoflWaffles here. Yesterday I posted my video on the new Awakening DLC poster. It features Der Eisendrache on one side, and on the other side it's just got the sort of thumbnail images of all the 4 multiplayer maps and the zombies map available in the DLC pack, but we don't really care about that side of it, we care about the zombies side, and I want to talk specifically about a couple of things that people have pointed out to me, or that just people have been speculating about generally, that I thought were quite interesting and worth sharing. So one of them is the fact that in the video yesterday I said, right, we've got these 3 characters in the background. We've got Nikolai, we've got Takio, and we've got Richtofen. But there's no Dempsey in the background, and in the center of the image there's this chap who looks like he could well be an American soldier by the name of Tank Dempsey. I still think that that is a perfectly reasonable assertion, but a few people have been suggesting otherwise. For example, Cameron Davies said, "Milo, that isn't Dempsey, it's the lead singer from Ice 9 Kills. Look them up, PS, it's their music for the Der Eisendrache map. Have fun, Milo." So a couple of people have echoed this exact same sentiment, that it isn't actually Dempsey, and it's just meant to be the lead singer of Ice 9 Kills. He's called Spencer Charnas. I think it's definitely possible. We've had bands appearing on DLC posters before. If you guys remember back to, what was it, Call of the Dead now? A7X, Avenged Sevenfold, they had their own DLC poster, which was sweet, and I wish I had a copy of it. Some of those old posters, man, holy moly, we've had some really cool posters over the years. Anyway, I digress. It could well be him, and we do know that Ice 9 Kills have been involved with Activision and with Treyarch in some way. We don't really know the extent of that just yet, but they've definitely been working together in some capacity, and so there is a possibility that they are the ones doing music for the map in terms of maybe the Easter egg song that's going to be on the map or something along those lines. Maybe we'll get an intro cutscene featuring a song from their album. They've just released an album, I believe, so that's fairly likely as well. There's a lot of possibilities as to where this could end up, but for now, I just wanted to bring it to your attention. So, there's another comment that got voted up actually in the comment section of my video yesterday that I thought was quite interesting, not only because on its own it was quite an interesting comment, but also because of the relation that it has to what we've just discovered about this potentially not actually being Dempsey on the poster. So, Crispin Freeman says the following: "Dempsey seems to get centralized on quite a lot, despite the fact that one would presume Richtofen to be the one being focused on, because of where the storyline is headed. It should also be noted that Dempsey was presumed to be the character Samantha was playing with in the Origins ending cutscene. We watched the cutscene through Dempsey's eyes. I feel like this might be a connection to Dempsey's fourth wall breaking. While everyone seems to think him addressing the player is just for comedic purposes, what if it's actually a key element to the story? Correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't Dempsey the only character to blatantly break the fourth wall? Well, now that a multiverse has been established within the storyline, what if our world isn't the only one that he is aware of? What if he's aware of all the different worlds? It could explain him commenting on the Pack-a-Punch machine being on the moon, despite the fact that A, it was never on the moon. If you remember the moon map, the Pack-a-Punch machine is in Area 51, which is definitely not on the moon, and B, as Crispin continues, that version of Dempsey should never have been on the moon. So we've got these little things here, little threads, that possibly could weave together and give us, maybe, an idea of where the storyline might be going. Maybe Dempsey is being placed in a more pivotal role, and he's going to maybe get his chance to shine somewhat in Der Eisendrache. So, I mentioned the fact that us knowing that it might not actually be Dempsey on the poster might make Crispin's comment that much more relevant, and I'll explain that now. Crispin is saying, Dempsey breaks the fourth wall all the time. That's fine, and that's true. For those of you that don't know, breaking the fourth wall is when Dempsey will say something like, "Hey, player, drop the chips and get me some ammo." But the more relevant part of Crispin's comment is the fact that Dempsey is missing in the Origins cutscene. And like he says, Crispin's correct here in saying that a lot of people presume that we're actually watching the events of the cutscene through the little model of Dempsey's eyes. Wait, hold on, I just made it sound like we were an actual model of Dempsey's eyes and none of the rest of him, just his eyeballs. That would be rather strange, that's not what I meant. So we're actually Dempsey embodied. We are looking through his eyes out into the world, into the house in which the children would be safe. We've talked about this many a time, and we are Dempsey in a way. So maybe this is being extended here, and that missing Dempsey scenario is being brought up again for the purposes of this poster. We've got someone else replacing Dempsey, and we've definitely got the other 3 characters. It's very clear that they are definitely there. There's no disputing that in the background we can see Richtofen, we can see Nikolai, and we can see Takio, but we definitely can't for sure make out whether the guy in the middle is supposed to be a weird stylistic version of Dempsey or is meant to be this singer from Ice 9 Kills. Personally, I'm leaning towards it being the singer of the band. I don't think Dempsey is on the poster, which I think is hella interesting, and maybe that means that at some point as well, we'll be getting Dempsey's memory segment. Wouldn't that be cool to finally have a bit more backstory about not only Nikolai, who's an interesting character in himself, but Dempsey too? Like Crispin said, maybe, just maybe, Dempsey is the key to all of this. It's possible, to be honest. Of those 4 characters, we know that Richtofen is obviously extremely important to everything, and the other 3 are test subjects. So, just like Crispin said, it would seem like it would be an obvious choice for Richtofen to be the prominent figure, but you've got to remember that Richtofen is a key part of the story, but if Richtofen is an antagonist, as he has been for so long, then it makes it less likely that we would be looking through his eyes. It's much more likely that we would be looking through the eyes of somebody good. And who better to be somebody good than Tank Dempsey? If you have any other theories about this, then let me know in the comments. I'd love to feature more of you guys on this channel and discuss theories and ideas with you, so drop your ideas in the comments if you have them, and while you're down there, let me know. Is Dempsey key? Is he actually the main character, and we haven't really known it this whole time? Maybe he's going to do something special in Der Eisendrache. That would be cool. I'd like to see that happen. I'd like to see those characters, those 3 test subjects, take on more sort of personal roles and really do things that define them in the story. They've been kind of bundled together a lot of the time, and I think the memory segments are doing a little bit of a job to try and give them a bit more sort of personality and history and just get them to be their own people a bit more. But anyway, I've been MrRoflWaffles. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed the video. If you have, then leave a like. If you haven't, let me know why in the comment section down below. Is Dempsey key? And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.